I don't know that they could hear me. Hello. It's classic Christmas day.
Yay!
We're so excited.
We're very excited. I'm so excited to show everyone this design. I think you're going to flip out. Absolutely.
Yes,
flip out.
I think so,
Yep.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And you might have seen, if you were here before the 2:00 mark, our countdown timer had a ton of shops. We have a couple pages of shops doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So if that gives you any indication, they think you're going to love it too.
That's right.
But don't worry, we'll flash them back up on the screen today. So
yeah.
I'm seeing some familiar names joining us today.
Good.
Hello, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you wanted to show the free gift first.
I did. And if you've been following on the Hoop Sisters VIP page, you've already seen some cute little holly embroideries of people using them in different ways. And here we just have it on a cute little napkin. I saw some creative things where with the fall coaster that Sarah did, that somebody took out the pumpkin or the whatever it said on it, welcome fall or whatever.
It was a pumpkin.
It was a pumpkin, and they put the holly in there instead. So
they're creative.
Very creative.
Somebody else did kind of like a longer block that gave me like mug rug vibes that had it in there too.
Yeah.
And there's two versions, right?
There is. Right here, I'm wearing one where it's an applique. I'm short.
So short.
I have the applique version on my apron. And then there's also the embroidery version on there too. So a couple different ways you can choose to do it, and just think of the things you could put that on, and it's free.
I know,
just for registering.
So I hope you registered, because I mean, we give some. I'm trying to keep track of how many free things we've given away this year. I think we're over 15. But
it's a lot.
Every time I think I know the tally, we give something else away, and then we've got more in the works for you this year.
That's
too,
right.
So
that's right.
So that is your freebie. That's your free gift. But should we maybe show them? Do you guys want to see what we're talking about? What is classic Christmas?
Everyone probably has a different idea what a classic Christmas is to them.
I actually asked this in our VIP Facebook group today.
What were the answers?
I just said, what is kind of like your tradition that makes Christmas classic to you? And a lot of people had, someone FaceTimes their grandchild to watch them open their presents. They're further away.
Yeah.
Just cute things like that. Yeah. I know we have Christmas traditions where you and my sisters bake and I eat. That's our cookie baking day.
That's why I have the apron and she needs a napkin.
Yeah, they don't really trust me to bake very much, but no. So it was cool to see all of your different what you consider classic in your family. Yeah. So I think once we show you, which we should do.
Yeah. Now this is not classic in our family.
Sure.
But I really wish I had this in real life.
I mean, you could get it.
I could.
But I think this is nice too. We're going to show it to you. It is a beautiful size project. You'll see, you're familiar with the size, but this is great for gifting too.
Oh my gosh. Yes. And you know what? I don't like making things twice or three times. I know there's a lot of people out there who I see them make multiples for gifts for everybody. Oh my gosh. I love you. I wish I had what it takes to do that, but I'm just always ready to move on to the next project. But because we're doing the live today, I, of course, had to make the sample and do the testing and stuff, but I had to also make all the blocks again so I could show you how to do this. And I'm telling you, I had so much fun making this. It was like, so cute. Oh, look at that little detail, because I did this months ago and I'm like, oh, that's so cool. So I think you're going to find there's a lot of fun details in it. And the other thing that I thought was cool is that I started it on a Thursday afternoon, like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and finished it on Friday morning.
Wow.
Making the blocks. It's not sewn together yet because we have to show you that, but made all the blocks except for the one we're stitching out today. That's the final piece to the puzzle in this.
Yes.
So should I stop talking now?
Let's just show them.
Okay. Here it is. Classic Christmas. Isn't that so cute? I would love a classic truck, and I'm just wondering, what color truck would you want?
Oh, I don't care. As long as it's cool and old and kind of like vintage.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Definitely vintage. But you can see we use some vinyl for the windshield, and then the windshield, you can see through the front windshield, and through the back windshield, you can see that gift. that bottom gift. And you
It's
can
kind
see
of hard because we've got lights on it. There, that might be better. Can you see the Christmas tree? I call it a Charlie Brown
there's a little Christmas tree through here.
Adorable.
The headlights have a little vinyl on it to make it look like real glass. Bunch of stacked presents. The background that you can see here are Christmas trees. I'm going to hold up a different block from the one we're making now. I think you can see the Christmas trees a little better there. But you can see there's a rear view mirror and the Christmas tree quilting that's in there. So it's a lot of fun detail, wreath on the front. I mean, it's very cool.
The thing that I love about this is sometimes when we see something, we think we have to do it in those colors, right? Because we can't envision. But we do have another colorway that we'll show you on the slides and another colorway that Annie's using for the workshop demo. So I'm telling you, you can change the border color. You can change the truck color. You can change the present color to fit your color scheme or whomever you're gifting it to. You can do a lot with this. So keep that in mind, because if you like other kind of colors for Christmas, like I know a lot of people like teal or golds or whatever.
Yep, a teal truck, or Sarah wanted a hunter green truck, and I already had the fabric picked out and cut. So I'm like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
You're 5 minutes too late.
This is one of our 3 block wall hangings. It does require a minimum of a 7-inch sewing field. So I did see someone ask that in the comments. So you will need a 7-inch sewing field in order to make this. It's adorable.
And if you have a larger machine, I have a different machine that I can put multiple border blocks and even the center blocks in one hoop. I'm telling you, that made it go so much faster.
Would it work with flannel?
Oh, I don't know why it wouldn't.
That would be
I
cool.
would put a little like the Mary Ellen spray starch on just to get it nice and stiff. I would caution you, however, on the flannel that make sure if you're going to cut right up to stitching that it's not something that's going to fray a lot. So the flannel might work better actually in the border.
I was thinking the border too. You won't see the Christmas tree background quilting as much, but it would still be cute.
If it's a solid flannel, they might. So
in fact, the other colorway that we are going to show is got a plaid border. So I don't think it's true flannel, but it's got that same effect. So you'll see what that would look like. Yeah, so cute.
Very cute.
Yes, we did have it at the open house. So if you came to the open house, you probably bought it because it flew out the door. But if you didn't, you could buy it today. So yeah, it's super duper cute. So next, do we want to talk details or do you want to get stitched?
I'm going to go over to the machine, get it set up. But if you're able to pull up the instructions, we'll talk a little bit about what we need in order to make it. Okay.
All righty.
Yes, I'm all set over here.
All right, there's your instructions.
Okay. Are we able to go to like page 20?
Oh, 20. Wow.
Yeah, I think it was page 20.
All right, hang on, guys. 20. Okay, there you go.
All right, so we're going to do the headlights that you see there. I've already got the one on the left, which I think is A4. We're going to do C4, which is just a mirror image of the one on the right. So you can see what you're going to need for this. You're going to need your background fabric. For me on the border, it's the green. And then you're going to need also fabric for I don't know what you guys are viewing this on, but for me, I'm leaning forward with my bifocals. You're going to need your truck fabric, some fabric for the bumper, some tire fabric. Oh, there we go. Aubrey just opened up the USB for me. Let me show you the USB. Can we switch it over to the machine? All right. So if you're getting the USB, it comes, when you open it up, you'll see everything you need. So go to your local shop that has a classic Christmas, and you'll be able to go shopping right away for the fabric. And so go check out your local store. But this is what the design looks like on a USB. Of course, it's always also available as a download, which is great because it'll always be there for you. And if you lose it, you don't need to worry about it.
I saw 2 questions I'd like to answer quickly because they're comments are coming in fast and furious, and I don't want to miss them. One of them was, do the shops have this now? And the answer is yes.
Yes, they do.
In fact, we're going to show you before the end of day one, the shops that have ordered 6 or more and have all the goodies. So we will get to that, but know that they do have access to it and they have them in store. The other question I saw was, how would it look without the vinyl?
You know what? It would look great without the vinyl. When we get to that step, we'll stop for a minute. Remind me to stop so we can get a good look at it. This is the A4, which is the one on the left side. And the vinyl's there. I haven't cut the vinyl yet because I wanted to kind of show you how to cut it as we get towards the end. But I used yellow thread, and you could use silver, or, they even make glow in the dark thread. I think that would be so cool.
That would be
I just
cute.
thought of that just now. But anyway, I think it would look great with or without the vinyl as far as the windshield or the headlights. So I'm going to toss that over there. So let's talk about what our first step is. Our first step in doing this design is you're going to hoop our battleizer product. And our battleizer is basically, I just have a little piece of it here. It's a little piece of thin batting, and it has stabilizer on it. So you don't have to hoop stabilizer and a batting. It's kind of a 2-in-1 product. So that's what you're going to put in the hoop. Now, the first step, usually when I do this, I usually wait and do the first step and then skip the second step. I'm doing a little different today because I did want to have the wool in there. But your first step that you're going to use water soluble thread for, and I usually use a darker thread, but I didn't. So forgive me today, but I think you can see the first step. It's just going to sew an outline of the outside of the block. And after it does that, step 2 is an optional step if you want to. And that is if you want to have a little bit more dimension to your wall hanging, then you can add a layer of wool. And you're going to prepare the wool. I have a little extra piece of wool here. And you're basically going to cut it the size we tell you. And then with your iron, just press the edges in about 1/4 of an inch. And that'll help keep your embroidery foot from getting caught in that. And then you're just going to place it inside the first step that you did, which is the outline. And then it does a zigzag to hold that in place. So I am already on step 3. Step 3 is we're going to put our background fabric down. We're just going to center it right over the top of the wool. And I'm going to just peek under, make sure it looks even on all sides. Need to bring it down a little bit. You can kind of tell by feeling it too, because it does have that extra dimension within the wool. Now, if you're planning on laying this on a table or something, which would be really cute as well, I would highly recommend that you do not use the wool, because then it'll be flat, and if you put a glass or something on it, it'll sit better. But if you're hanging it up and you want some more dimension, by all means, I recommend the wool. I still have water-soluble thread in the needle. I'm going to stop so they can hear me. And it's going to sew an outline to attach the background fabric to the battleizer. And then it's also going to sew the pattern so I know where to place my applique fabric. So you just have to keep the fabric smooth while it's stitching.
So I did see some people are asking where to get the vinyl. I would say check your local quilt shop. I'm sure they probably have something like that. I also saw some comments saying you could put organza over it instead of the vinyl.
Now you have to keep in mind that if you're going to use organza, it's a fabric that's going to fray. Whereas the vinyl is not going to fray. So keep that in mind as well, because it doesn't sew a satin stitch to attach the vinyl. It just sews, I think, the triple run line.
I did see someone ask about resizing. We definitely do not recommend that you resize. It tends to be one of those things where if you try it, it knocks something else out of place and turns into a headache. And we will only support the original design file sizes.
Sometimes resizing
it'll cause you headaches.
Yeah, resizing, sometimes things do not all resize evenly.
Yeah.
All right, I am changing to my background quilting thread. So I'm putting that in the needle only. I still have embroidery bobbin thread in the bobbin. And that's because we're going to add the backing all at once. So we're going to let it do some cute Christmas tree quilting.
We also have a giveaway today. So if you are watching this live, you can participate in that. We got $40 in HoopSisters store credit up for grabs. All you have to do to be entered to win is comment the word Christmas. You do have to have given StreamYard permission to view your comments. But I'm seeing a lot of names in here, so it looks like you guys have done that. If you ever do that once, you're good to go forever. So our keyword today is Christmas.
What's the store credit amount? $40?
$40.
Awesome.
And the keyword's Christmas, even though I'm drinking pumpkin spice coffee.
Well, you got to prepare.
That's
for the
right.
holidays that are coming up a little in advance.
That's right.
It'd be fun too if you're going to do this. If you want that Christmas tree quilting to show up really well, find a nice contrasting thread. Maybe stitch a few lines, just a straight stitch on something, just to test out different colors. I'm using kind of a brighter colored light green to make those Christmas trees show up. I think I'm going to hang this in my house when I'm done.
So Annie, the question we always get, and I see it here today, is why are you using water-soluble thread?
Doesn't that sound like a silly thing to
Yeah,
do?
it seems wrong.
Well, as you can see, there's water-soluble thread on the outside perimeter. And eventually you're going to sew this block to another block. And if you don't sew exactly on or just inside that basting stitch, that thread would show. So if you don't want it to show, you can just get it wet and then it will dissolve. So then it's not a problem. But if you use regular thread, you're going to need a seam ripper to rip out those stitches. That's the reason we use that. And actually, when I'm done with this color, I'm going to switch back to water-soluble thread because I'm going to tack down and do applique for the truck and the tires and the bumper. And on those, when we stitch those down, it actually is stitching part of it on the outside perimeter of the block. It's just to make your life easier. There is some
We
good.
can show an example.
There's a good example on that.
We'll show an example of the water-soluble thread in a little bit too.
Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the truck fabric. I'll just put it here.
I want to see if it has the
Oh.
name of the thread.
Oh.
Oh, it doesn't. The bottom doesn't have it.
I think it was green dust, somebody asking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the name of the thread color I used on the Christmas tree quilting is called green dust.
Check out Kathy's comment. I think Kathy, Kathy, you've been around a long time. We know you know what you're talking about. So I'm popping this up here because she says, once you've done a HoopSisters project using water-soluble thread, you will never go back to using regular
That's
thread.
right. It is so true.
Love
It's
that.
funny the things you find out that you do out of necessity and you're like, oh man, that's brilliant. Whoop, now I'm throwing I lost my fabric. I threw it on the floor. There it is.
Aw, Elaine, that's so nice. She said she learned how to machine embroidery using HoopSisters designs. She loves the instructions, which we hear a lot, which I love to hear. And she also, well, I'm not going to talk about the other companies, but she likes ours. So that's good. That's awesome.
Needle threaders decided to give me a hard time. Okay,
Kathy says, I'm an oldie.
So am I, Kathy. Okay, so I have my water-soluble thread in the needle, and this is my cute little red truck fabric. And I'm just going to line it up even with the outside of the green. I'm also going to peek underneath and make sure where it's supposed to be red with the truck that I have all the areas covered. And then I can hit the button, and it's going to sew tack down stitches to hold it in place.
Yes, Barbara, our trimmer is amazing. We're actually going to show the trimmer and demo it tomorrow for day 2 of the workshop too. And we hear a lot of people say that they use it for anything, like not just HoopSisters. Same with the battleizer.
Okay, so now we have our red truck fabric on here for our truck applique. And I don't know if anyone noticed or not, but right along this curve outside edge of the truck, it's stitched on there twice. And the reason it's stitched on there twice is because this is where we need to stitch, cut or trim close to the stitching using our Hoop Scissors Mini. And along the outside edge, we're going to leave that fabric there. And right here, the bumpers below it, we're going to trim just a scant 1/4 inch from there. So I'm going to start cutting this. Okay. And we do 2 lines of stitching, excuse my arm, 2 lines of stitching, just in case you happen to snip one of those threads. That way, you know, you have a little insurance policy in there. And now the next thing, let me put this back on here, is we're going to do the tire. And we're still using water-soluble thread, and for the same reason, because it is going to be stitched on the outside of the block. And we don't like seam rippers around here. So now it's going to tack down our tire fabric.
Judy's got the original trimmer. That's awesome. Yeah, you can still use it. The functionality is exactly the same. We've made a couple upgrades to it, but heck, if it's still working, keep using it.
That's right. Okay, we're trimming basically the same way. Right here, I'm going to trim a scant 1/4 inch where it meets the bumper. And here I'm going to trim right up close to the stitching. Now I'm going to trim this a little more narrow. If you have a bumper that's going to be lighter fabric, that looks more like a scant 1/8, and that'll be just fine. But if you have a lighter fabric over that dark, you're going to want to make sure maybe to cut it and trim it just a little bit closer.
Someone asked, they can't get Peltex. They're looking for that Timtex or Peltex for the nesting baskets, and they don't have a local quilt shop by them. If you're a local quilt shop watching this and you have it, comment, and maybe you guys can hook up and ship it to them.
So now I'm going to add my fabric for the bumper, which is this cute gray taupey sparkle stuff. And I'm going to, again, with water-soluble thread, I'm going to sew the tack down to hold that on there. You can see the areas where it's stitching twice. That means you're trimming close to the stitching. All right, so now we're going to do some more trimming with our Hoop Scissors Mini. The fabric on the outside, again, I'm leaving that there. I'm not trimming that because that will end up being in our seam allowance. I have to spin this around so I can get the right angle. And again, I'm using the Hoop Scissors Mini to trim close to that stitching.
I just popped a Timtex hookup on the screen for you. It's Miss Linda Remmers.
Oh, well, there you go.
She's on it.
So there you are. I have that trimmed close to the stitching. Kind of looks like a Santa Claus with dirty fur.
Yeah.
It's funny how all these individually look just a little bit different. The middle part of the hood of the car, I thought kind of looked like something from the movie Cars, like it was smiling at me.
Yeah, it does look like a happy truck.
It does.
It's got a little smile. Catherine, the Timtex is for a different project.
Yeah.
It was for the nesting baskets that we did last month, but someone asked a question during this live. Yeah, the top of a Santa boot, Kathy says.
Yeah, it does. Okay, so now I have changed my thread, and we would recommend a thread that either matches or maybe a slightly different shape
than your bumper or your grill fabric.
Hold on. Something happened.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start. It's going to just stitch some embroidery and some detail right there, like shading inside of the bumper. Starting to come to life. Okay, I'm going to change my thread again, and I'm going to change it to some red thread to match my truck. And it's going to sew the satin stitch there on the edge.
Hey, Sarah just let me know that she's seeing orders come in. And while we love that, I would encourage you to hang for just a second because we do have some news on a bonus and pricing.
Yeah.
So we love seeing the orders, but give it just a second. I promise it'll be worth it.
All right, after it does the satin stitch, we're going to be doing the headlights, and I'm gonna use a yellow for the headlights. So remind me, Aubrey, to stop sewing so they can take a look at it without the vinyl.
Okay. Can I show my slides?
Yes, go right ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna turn you around and I'm gonna give you the info that I know you want right now. Let me just a second. Okay, so first and foremost, we do have several shops that are stocking this, okay? So just know that. Here's the list of some of them. I'm going to switch the page and show you we have another page of them too. So we highly recommend that you go support your local quilt shop first and foremost. If they are in your neck of the woods, go check them out, give them a call. They do have all these shops have the bonus, they have the free gift, they have all the good stuff, okay? So I do want to mention that we did show them at the beginning as well. If you don't have one of these shops, if this is not in your neck of the woods, then you can order just right from HoopSisters.com. I do want to remind you that there is a minimum hoop size of 7" by 7" on this one, and the approximate finish size is 14" by 27". Yes, thank you, Wenda. Yankee Quilter, she said they'll ship too. So feel free to reach out to Yankee Quilter and support these shops. Okie dokie. So limited time bundle pricing. Let's talk about this. So this is going to expire sooner than normal. Okay. This is your heads up. This is going to expire tomorrow night at midnight. Okay. So what's going to happen is we changed this up a little bit. When you put these two separate products in your cart, you do not need a coupon code and it will automatically take 10% off your order, which is super exciting. The free block wall hanging on its own is $35. The 5 yards of battle laser, which you're 100% going to want if you're doing the project, is $33.99. You'll get 10% off if you put both of these in your cart. Okay.
I love that sample.
Yeah, this is the other sample.
Every time I see a new sample of this, I'm like, oh my God,
yeah.
This is so cute.
So someone mentioned plaid or flannel. Flannel.
Yeah.
So this I don't think it's flannel, but it is plaid, so I feel like it kind of gives you the same effect, okay? Colleen, if you already purchased, and you purchased the design and the bundle, and the battleizer, it would have taken 10% off automatically, and it would have added the bonus automatically. So you should be good. If you already ordered and you didn't add something and it didn't work out right, just get a hold of us and we will fix it for you. So you do get the 10% off if you put both of the items in your cart, meaning the 5 yards of battleizer and the design on USB or download. Either way, however you want to do it. That will get you 10% off. Now, the next thing it's going to do that's super cool is it will automatically put the bundle bonus in your cart, which is this adorable little Christmas box. What do we call this, Annie? Is it just a Christmas box?
I think it's just a Christmas box.
It's so cute. I'm going to actually in a little bit hold this up for you. It's a tiny little box. Like this would be perfect for like earrings, ring, chocolate.
Yep. Jewelry and chocolate.
Yeah.
I mean, what else is there?
So this will go in your cart automatically if your cart has $68 or more in it. And so this is super cool. You don't need a coupon for anything. Just make sure you put the 5 yards of Battleizer and the classic Christmas design or $68 worth of product in your cart. Okay. So that's what we want to make sure that you guys know, because we've seen some orders come through. So we just want to make sure that you got it all. Okay. And again, there's the free gift. So I think I'm going to pass it back over to you, Annie.
Awesome. Okay, good. It's time for me to show everybody what it looks like if you do not add the vinyl. So hopefully they can see that. I think it looks great with or without. So we are about to add the vinyl now, so you can kind of get a good idea of what it looks like before and after vinyl. I put black thread in the needle, and I have a little piece of the vinyl here. And I told Aubrey earlier, I said, don't throw that away or don't move it because I won't be able to find it. But you're just going to center it right over the top of where the headlight is. And I like to slow the machine down when I do this step. And it's just going to do a triple run line step in a circle. So hold that on. And you just need to make sure the vinyl doesn't move. You got a thread tail in here. That's it. The vinyl's on there. We'll talk in a minute about trimming it. You don't need to trim it right now. It's going to continue to do the satin stitch to cover the raw edge of the tire, and also it's going to do some tread on the tire.
Cute. I didn't even notice the tread before.
A lot of that's why it's fun stitching this out, because you're like, wow.
Yeah, there's something to see
all
all the little corners.
Thanks for not losing my vinyl or misplacing it.
I probably would have if you hadn't told me. What machine are you using, Annie?
I am using the Janome 15,000. But this comes multi-formatted, so no matter what machine or what format you need, it's going to be in there for you. And now it's going to sew some tread. Grab that little thread tail. I'm going to grab that little thread tail and snip it off.
Hey, Benita, now. Watch Benita now. Watch it. How long before we get Aubrey on a machine and stitching?
We have that.
Yes,
I've done it
on a live. Yes, but I mean, I had helpers by me just in case.
Well,
it's easy.
It's easy. You can do
I think the answer, Benita, is when my children are no longer so needy. The youngest is in first grade, so at least he's got to be like at least high school before I might.
Well, that's probably about the time I started sewing.
Yes,
I had my kids a little earlier than you. But when you were able to pour your own milk out of the fridge without making a mess and make your own peanut butter and jelly sandwich, that's when I really started sewing.
So when you could start ignoring me.
Right, exactly. You could leave me alone. Okay, there is one more step in this design, and it is basically the satin stitch that goes around the bumper. I'm going to just finish that up off. I'll just finish it up when we're done. I see a question. What does that say?
So someone's saying that they heard in one of the demos that the Battleizer has a right and wrong side. Is that correct?
Well, do you have an answer for that one, Sarah? Do you want to do something? Okay. You would honestly, I just take it right off the roll, and I don't even pay attention to what side it is. But there is a scrim on one side, And generally, Linda always says the bumpy side goes to the back. I don't think it's going to matter. I've done it both ways, and I really have not noticed a difference. The fabric will cling to it no matter what. But what I wanted to show you now is, can they see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So trimming the vinyl for the headlight or for the windshield, it's all done the same way, is you're basically going to trim like 1/8 of an inch from that black stitching. And yes, I'm using my mini.
Look how it's like butter.
I think I might go in there later and try and do it a little bit closer because I'm at an awkward angle. So whoever asked the question about what does it look like without vinyl, I'm just curious which way they would decide to go. It just gives it a little shine and makes it actually look like a headlight. But it looks great without it too. So there it is with the vinyl over the headlight. So Aubrey, I think we have our block finished. I'm gonna later on just finish the satin stitch that stitches around the bumper. But we're basically, that's how you stitch that block out.
All right. So how easy was that? Honestly, I think that's the coolest part about what you guys do, because I don't do that part. But it looks complex. It looks detailed. Like, oh my gosh, but it's so simple because you guys do all the back end work to make it smooth.
Yep.
So,
and what I like about this design too is that whatever, if you are using the red and green traditional Christmas fabrics or Christmas decorations in your house, you can go that route. Or if you're using something a little more modern, like maybe some teal and red, maybe, that you can pretty much use any colors you want to make this work with your decorations or for the person you're gifting it to.
So yeah, I love that. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple more. I'm gonna just showcase those details on how to order and get the best deal, which is 10% off for just today and tomorrow, and talk about that bonus. And then I'm actually gonna take you over to the website and show you how to do it. So everybody knows, and how to get your registration free gift if you registered. Okay. Okay, so the sound is better. I think it was just the machine going and microphones, but it seems like it's better now. And we do have a giveaway yet, so we'll get to that in just a minute too. So make sure you're commenting Christmas to get entered into that. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm throwing parts of this quilt on the floor.
She's gonna make me look for blocks later.
Okay, sound is better. Yay! All right. So just a quick reminder. We don't have a specific bundle product. You do need to put in the USB or the download, either one, of the Design Classic Christmas and 5 yards of Battleizer. It will automatically take 10% off, which is super exciting. You do not need a coupon code. It'll just do that automatically. The next thing that will happen automatically, if these are the two things in your cart, is you will get the bundle bonus. That'll just automatically pop in there and you will be able to download that. Super duper cute. And again, you do not need a coupon code. If there's other things that you want, and this isn't for you today, and you put $68 worth of Hoop Sistery things in your cart, you will get the bundle bonus still. So just know that you won't get the 10% off unless it's on Classic Christmas and 5 yards of Battleizer. Yes, you do need to buy both to get 10% off. I see a question there about that. So in order to get the 10%, you do need the design, either download or USB, and 5 yards of Battleizer. Okay. All right. I'm going to go, maybe I think Sarah and Nita are on here. The comments are flying through and I can't keep up. So I'm going to let the girls do that and I'm not going to get distracted. But I do want to take you over to the website and just show you how to get all the goodies. Okay. So let me go over here. All right. So here it is on the website. We're just at hoopsisters.com. If you want to start shopping, you can just click shop now. And this will take you into everything that we discussed today. We need to get the scissors in there. Sarah or Nina, maybe you could pop the scissors in this screen too. And the trimmer, you all, we will talk about tomorrow. Day 2 is going to be full of the trimmer. Annie's going to show you exactly how to use that. So if you're ordering today and you don't have a trimmer, highly recommend you just pop that in your cart with this order as well. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how this works. So I'm going to get the USB for my example. I'm going to click add to cart. It's going to pop in there. And then I'm just going to go back and I'm going to make sure that I get the 5 yards of Battleizer because I want 10% off. Yes, please. So I'm going to add that in my cart as well. And then look what happened. Let me get over there. Let me get over there. View cart. So what happened is it took the 10% off my order and it popped in my bonus. Woohoo! So that's super exciting. You do not need a coupon code. So then you can just click checkout and go through that process. So that's how it'll work. I think it's super simple and sleek. And then the other thing that I wanted to show you is how to get your free gift. So this is different. If you registered for this event in advance, you will go up. Let's pretend we're at the home screen. Let me start you over. So here we are at the home screen, HoopSisters.com. You'll go up to the menu tab, which is at the top left. Click that. And then you'll click sign in. It's the very first thing with the black background. I'm going to sign myself on in. And it will take me, well, now it took me to my cart. Now I got to get over to my orders. I lied. I'm going to empty my cart so this is easier. Hold on. I'm going to get rid of this stuff. All right, let me try this again. Okay, here we go. Takes me to my order history when I sign in, unless I got stuff in my cart to check out. So I'm in my order history and you can see I have right here, this is the registration. So I'm going to just click on those words, Classic Christmas Registration. And then you're going to see, it used to be a brown box, but since we've updated the website, it's a black box with a white down arrow. I'm going to click on that. And it's going to take me right into, oh gosh, I hit the wrong thing. I slid. I'm struggling. Okay.
You need a mouse.
I do. I do. So right here, right next to the product image, you'll see the free Holly registration gift. Click that. I'm not going to do it, but it'll download right to your computer. So that's how you will get the little, we'll show what those are again too. So hopefully I didn't confuse everybody right there. But there we go. Okay, so I'm going to pop us back in. So I want you guys to see the size of this box.
Oh, the box.
Well, you can show that too.
I just wanted to show you guys that these are 3D berries that stitch out in your machine. So that is totally a lot of fun. And here's the little box. It's really tiny. I think it would also make a really cute Christmas decoration, just hang from a tree. It's completely lined. But what could you, I could put, for my sewing friends, I could put some thread in there.
What I would do is
chocolate or jewelry, like you said.
I would make this and leave it out for my husband with a note of what I'd like him to fill it with.
There you go. Great idea. So
how about that?
It's just so cute. So quick and easy to do. I think you'll enjoy making this.
Yes.
Great again for gifts of money or whatever you want to put in it.
Yes.
So we like our boxes. So that's your bonus gift. And then your free gift to register is the Holly embroidery and the applique.
She's so short. Would a tea bag fit in here?
Yes.
You know, Nina would know that.
Yes, a tea bag would fit in there.
So there you go.
Yep. Perfect.
Yep. So that would fit. If you're using a dark green fabric for the background, will the Charlie Brown tree show up very well? Or use the same color thread as the background trees?
Okay, that was a good question. And that was a question I had when I was stitching it out myself. And this is what I did. I basically used the same color thread that I used for the tree, which is a much lighter. So if you just go lighter or darker green, and believe me, I had that question myself when I stitched it. I'm like, oh, did I make a mistake making a green border? And I don't think so. As long as your thread, oh, Nina brought a tea bag in here. Great. But I just use
I don't know,
a
it's
lighter
kind of
or darker green, and I think you'd be all set.
Okay, so I did have to kind of bend it a little bit, but it does fit. Someone asked about a gift card. I do not think a gift card would fit in here. But if you have like sometimes you can just print paper gift cards. You could fold it up, but a gift card wouldn't fit. But the tea did, so hopefully that's helpful. Okay, what about using Mylar? I don't think we tried it.
No, we did not. If I remember correctly, and tell me if I'm wrong, Mylar is kind of like a plastic film or something.
What I think.
No, we used I used hoop shape. Oh, for this.
Yes, I think that's what she's asking, like instead of the vinyl over the windows.
Okay, so then it's something else. I thought it was something different. If you
money would
sew,
fit.
Right, money would fit. But if you can sew through Mylar on a regular sewing machine, you could definitely use it for the windshield and the headlights.
If you have trouble, go back to vinyl.
Right.
Somebody asked about this. It was we used hoop shape in this. Gives it that nice.
And it doesn't use a lot, obviously.
And here's the difference, just in case you're wondering. This is our hoop shape, and this is the battleizer.
It's going to hold its shape as a box instead of folding itself.
So you can see why you would want this for that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you all. Well, have fun shopping. We're going to turn you guys over to go shopping. Just keep in mind the limited time pricing is going to expire sooner this time around. So it does expire tomorrow at midnight. Okay. So go shopping and have fun. And we will be back here tomorrow for day 2, where you're going to talk about trimming and
trimming and how to pin it, how to do a backing. I'm not going to do all of it live, but I'm just going to kind of show everybody how to do that. So looking forward till tomorrow. I'm looking forward to having this finished.
Another one.
Yeah, for my house.
All right, you all. Thank you so much.
All right.
We'll see you tomorrow.
See ya. Bye.